Premier League this weekend. Wow. So you remember how I said whoever wins Liverpool City wins the league?
Yep.
Well, you know who won in that game? Arsenal. Let's go, Gunners! And that should keep our Arsenal fan happy, but wow. Of course it's a draw. Have you seen the stats between Pep and Klopp? It's mostly draws.
Yeah.
Of course it was a draw. And they're up by 1 point and they still have to close it out, but wow, massive. So you're saying there's a chance.
Yeah, so you're saying there's a chance, but you're saying there's a chance on Arsenal's side too. They can still sneak
That's
in
what I'm
there.
saying.
Yeah.
You're saying there's a chance. They're 1 point. Arsenal's in first by 1 point right now because of that draw.
Incredible. And again, I've counted this season out as a Chelsea fan for Chelsea. Obviously.
Yeah, how do you?
Yeah. Let's not get into it. I'm not going to say I'm not going to say I'm supporting another team, but God, Arsenal, I want them to do it.
Another London club too at that. You're but like it just that's the Chelsea season is let's go on a winning run here and still end up in 10th place or 11th place. You beat Newcastle and you're still in 11th and you're behind Newcastle still.
Yeah, still. And exactly like you said too, just classic Chelsea fans. Not a great season, all of a sudden cheering for another team. Arsenal, hey. Good for Chelsea fans.
Another London club, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh. So 10 games left. Oh, sorry. Arsenal, Liverpool are tied. They're up on City by 1 point because I have City winning the league. That's my pick. I don't see Liverpool doing it, especially with the injuries. But after that last game,
and picking City again is trash because you're just supporting big money clubs doing what big money clubs do.
I'm not supporting them.
Well,
I'm just saying that would be my betting man's pick.
Oh, the
City.
The Betway pick. Yeah.
But yeah, huge weekend, and the Gunners have a chance. Le Arsenal, Arsene Wenger.
The Gunners?
No, he's gone. He's not there anymore. Did you watch Liverpool City? Did you happen to catch any of that game?
I didn't, but every time I look down at my phone, I see Mike texting me, as in this guy, and it was like, oh my God, do you see that? Oh my God, do you see that? Oh, Ramsdale did this?
Yeah.
So I felt like I watched it.
Oh, good. The Liverpool is it's Van Dijk and that's it. And then Mo Salah comes off the bench because he's still kind of hurt. Darwin Núñez isn't quite there. Luis Diaz played great, but the point is they're hurt. The whole squad is hurt. City is not. They went, full. They got full squad against them, and it's still a 1-1 draw. And do you know who kind of? Go ahead.
Do you think that's embarrassing for City then? They tied a less than perfect Liverpool.
With with their backup Irish keeper. Granted, what's his name? Ederson got hurt, and they had to put in Ortega halfway through the game. But you're still putting your money on City, hey? The injury to Ederson. I think he'll be back. I don't think it'll be a long-term injury. I think it was just that game. But yeah. So I think it's for sure an embarrassment to City. Well, I mean, embarrassment might be a strong word, but they should have had that. They should have beaten Liverpool. I mean, yes, you're in Anfield, and it was loud. And Luis Diaz was doing everything he could to just charge up that crowd. He's a little spark plug. You know who was kind of invisible? Phil Foden and Erling Haaland. I did not. Foden less so than Haaland, but Erling was gone. You couldn't, for a guy that big, I couldn't believe he could be that invisible.
Yep,
he could disappear that much.
You watch Haaland last year, first year in the Premier League, lights it up.
38 goals or whatever it is. Like, doesn't he or 36? He ties the record, whatever it is. But yeah, he's lights it up. You're right.
This year, sure, there's been some challenges with fitness, but not the same guy.
Yeah, and I mean, is it hard to ask for that same level again in his second year? Maybe teams know how to defend him, managers know how to strategize against him. Maybe defenders know how to take him on. 23 matches, 18 goals right now.
It's still
in the
impressive.
It's still impressive.
Like rather impressive.
Way more than I've ever scored in the Prem.
Me and you combined.
It's that Neymar argument again. Have you ever seen Haaland? Different position, I suppose, in different play styles, but when it's needed in a big game like that. And he's still only 23. He's young, but he's not the guy that's noticeable. You notice him when he scores, sure, but he's usually scoring some crazy goal off of 70-yard long angle ball from Kevin De Bruyne or Bernardo Silva or whoever else is there just feeding him up because he's the size of a friggin' tank. Like, he is a Viking. I saw him on somewhere. He's an autistic Viking. That's terrible. But yeah, like so I'm just thinking it's Liverpool. You're facing Liverpool in Anfield. They're hurt. It's Van Dijk and Darwin Núñez up front, and then Salah comes off the bench. But still, it's a half patch young Liverpool team. This is when you step up. You're in Anfield. You step up. This is the championship game here. You're gonna decide who's winning this season here. You could possibly decide.
Yeah.
Do something. Do something. I get you're going up against Van Dijk, who's probably the only defender in the Premier League who could match him, like size for size, strength wise, and he actually Van Dijk's play style matches up really well with Haaland. But do something. You can't disappear in the background. That's your opportunity. You got one opportunity, one shot.
One shot.
Gone.
I
Nothing.
think
Nowhere.
I love the topic you brought up too, because we'll go back to my pick in the penalty shootout. You watch France versus Brazil in 2006. Zizou ran the show. You watch Chelsea. You watch Drogba 2008. No, it was just after when they beat Barcelona. Drogba carried that extra time. Those are the players that understand how to win games or at least make themselves competitive. That Chelsea-Barcelona game, second leg, you had to battle for it. Drogba in extra time carried the play himself. He was the only guy running into the attacking zone and just made it difficult.
As a striker. Which is what Haaland plays. Because I know a lot of people think that you can't drive the play as a striker, but you're right. Drogba's a great example.
But it is exactly like you're saying. Haaland's incredibly talented, tosses the ball in the net. That's what you want from your strikers. But I agree from what we're talking about, he's not the guy that's like, holy fuck, he's carrying this team or the guy. He's tossing the ball in the net. That's what you want. But at the same time, not taking charge of a game. You don't see Haaland on the field or I'll backtrack a bit. You don't see him take over a game, is what I'm trying to say.
No. And maybe that's not his game, but you're right. And as much as I hate to admit it, Mbappe, although he plays more on the wing, but Mbappe in the final against Argentina basically put that French team on his back and said, "Come with me, boys. We're good. I'm dragging you through to extra time here."
Literally dragged him to extra time, yes.
Right? Like he did that, and internationally that'll be tough for Erling to do because he's Norwegian, so that's you can't see that in the final. But
no.
This is he scores a lot of goals. There's no doubt that Erling scores a lot of goals. So is it out there to say that maybe he's overrated. Is he? He's very talented. He scores lots of goals, but is that because he's just big and fast and strong? I mean, skill-wise, it's not always there. He just kind of the equivalent of a power forward, I suppose, minus the skill. He's a power striker. But who's he scoring these goals against? At least this season, right? You know, if it's not Liverpool when you need it, would you beating up Burnley and Wolves and right?
Yeah,
like, who are you scoring these goals against?
3 goals against Burnley.
Right.
Great.
And
Great.
let's face it, Champions League, I think he's 6 goals in 7 matches. They've had a pretty easy run in Champions League, especially this first round here with Copenhagen. Like who are these teams?
Yeah.
And when you've got guys like De Bruyne, and although he was hurt for most of the season, and Bernardo Silva, and Phil Foden, because Phil Foden can drive the play for sure. Your job is to finish. It's get in the box. You don't even have to get open because you're so big. And if you've got De Bruyne, he'll find you, which is all that it is. So in my mind, I think Haaland's a little overrated, which is insane for the amount of goals that he scores. Because you're right, that's what you want from your striker. But it's literally just, I'll stand here and wait for the super talented Belgian to find me with one of those impossible long balls, and I'll just dink it in. Obviously, he can contort his body into crazy ways in midair and make connection and good connections because he's getting the ball on net. I think there's a lot of hype there that is unfounded at the moment. And he's the only reason he's a champion is because he plays for City. The other side of that is they didn't win the Champions League until he showed up.
But we could also talk about, was he the one just completely driving that? They lost to Chelsea. And
Kai Havertz.
Kai Havertz. That they lost to that team. Chelsea should not have been there. They made it there. Our discussion to Haaland joins the team. All of a sudden, they win the Champions League. I don't think it was all him. I agree with you to an extent where he's young, but I'm not looking at that guy like we would have looked at a Ronaldo, a Messi. He's not the guy who's like carrying a team or the guy. I look at the City team sheet and go, okay, that's a good addition, but he's not the guy.
You're right. Maybe it's unfair to say. Maybe it's unfair to say that he's why they won Champions League. He's just the missing piece that they needed. But they had a world-class striker in Aguero, and they never did it. But they did it with Haaland.
Gabriel Jesus.
I do not put Jesus up there. But I do not put him up there with Aguero. At all. Yeah. Not even close. Yeah. I know he was.
Not even close. But they've
you're
had
right.
good strikers. And they couldn't do it with good strikers.
No. They needed even that Dortmund team that he was on. And again, it's Bundesliga. It's not a bad quality football, but it's not the best. And one team wins all the time there, and they just beat up all those other little German teams. And then your runner up is your perennial runner up is Dortmund, right? And that Dortmund team was pretty good too with Bellingham. And Royce was there. Mats Hummels is still there, right? Like, it was a pretty good. So you're scoring a shit ton in the Bundesliga, but you still don't do much in UEFA with Dortmund. Then you go to Champions League. Obviously, you're on City. City's phenomenal. They've bought all those players.
Yep.
So he is, I'd say, overrated. I know that's an unpopular opinion, or it's maybe just comes off as like a United fan pissed off, but you're right. He's not at the level, at least yet, as to the superstars that we're used to from the past decade and a half.
I think we were spoiled rotten growing up, getting to watch Johan Gorku. Oh, wait, sorry. That's just me being a fanboy. Watching R9, watching Ronaldinho, watching a bunch of players take over games. And I agree, like, I don't think Haaland's the guy to take over a game. But the stats say the reverse. He just literally scores goals. And that's what you want. So here I am again, just waffling as usual.
Yeah, pick a side. Get off the fence.
Yeah.
You're right. He's a striker. That's what you do as a striker. Is you score goals. But on the flip side, is he the striker you would pick in your finals?
We didn't pick him.
He's on my bench. But penalties is different. I'm saying, like, if to play a full game,
Yeah.
I wouldn't pick.
Nope.
I'd probably pick Mbappe over to play striker, even though he's probably better suited on the wing. But I would pick him over Haaland.
Yep. I love that you mentioned that too.
Again, it's just the scoring a hat trick in a World Cup final against Argentina. Argentina wasn't a slouch of a team either.
Yeah. They were ready to play football.
Yeah.
And you watch that World Cup final too. For 80 minutes, Argentina was the team. It's incredible that France somehow found a way back into it, and like you said, Mbappe was most of the magic to it.
But they lost.
Well, your trash goaltender is a. I'm gonna get banned from YouTube if I say any of the things that I meant to say.
This racist to Argentinians.
Mike, don't press my buttons, Mike.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
Yeah, for Haaland, I'd love to see a little bit more when it comes to crunch time. I'm not saying he's got to take Man City on and put him on his back. There's other players that could do that, other leaders that can do that. But again, it's Liverpool. It's an injured Liverpool with only Van Dijk back there. So, you can't just. I forgot he was on the field, and Foden too to some extent. But there was some moments where you saw Foden. I mean, you're kind of on the side that Erling is overrated, or you think he's just.
I'm on the side that he's the price tag that he was purchased at. I wouldn't have paid for it.
Really?
Yeah,
he scores goals.
He scores goals. But again, I come at it from a space of
okay. Hang on, it was 52 million pounds, 60 million euros.
Oh, but
you compare that to Anthony in
no.
What was Anthony? Anthony was 90 million pounds.
Yes,
80 million pounds.
You're saying that about Haaland, but how much bonus structure was there?
You're talking about for his salary? I don't think that matters for it. But it's more
what
you paid the other city.
You're saying they paid 55 million or 52 or whatever it was. There's no way they paid that. They paid 3 times as much for him.
Oh, you're saying the stuff that doesn't get reported, like the under the table stuff?
100%. Yeah. This guy's got a free plane ticket to Abu Dhabi whenever he wants.
Okay, but they own an airline. Of course, that doesn't matter to them.
You know what I mean. Like this.
No, I don't. No, I think it's the transfer fee. It was 52 million pounds, and that is surprisingly one of the lower deals and better.
That's why it's not true. That's why it's not true. There's no way you pick up Erling Haaland for $52 million. There was some sort of here's a briefcase.
You're
of
calling
cash.
Conspiracy on this?
Oh, where's the tinfoil? I'm wearing the hat right now. There's no way. 100% penalty on this one. Where's the red card? Where's the blue card?
Okay, I mean it is City, and not like their ethics have been called into question before. So
ever
you might
they've been
right.
by the book the whole
Fine,
time.
Let's go because we weren't in the room. Let's go off the reported 52 million pounds is a pretty good. I think that's a pretty good bargain for what they got out of him. I mean he again, what was it, 36, 38 goals last season? He's already at 23 now. No, 18 now. Yeah, in 23 games.
If we're going off what's reported,
that's
best
where I
pickup
think
ever.
That's where I think the numbers skew it. The best pickup ever. Best pickup ever was Mathieu Flamini for free from Arsenal to AC Milan. That was the best pickup ever. How does
you
Arsenal let Flamini go for? Do you know he's a billionaire now?
Yeah, that guy made more cash outside of football than in football.
Insane.
Insane.
I forgot to put him on my list of top starting 11 industrial players. Could you imagine him, Scholesy, Gattuso? So let's go. Yeah. So I know I sound like an idiot here because I'm going back and forth on it. Where like, oh, it's actually a good deal for Erling Haaland, but 52 million pounds. That's a pretty good steal, especially for City, who likes to pay a lot for. Although more often than not, though, they've hit on who they buy. They're not like United, right? Where they there's a lot of swings and misses. I know early on when they were first breaking out of the, we just got bought by, but not Saudi princes, Dubai, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we just got bought by like this massive, but basically the country of Dubai. So we're just buying all these like B-level Brazilian guys. That phase was a little rough, but they usually hit when they buy. They must have a good scouting department or something. And I guess it's easy when everybody wants to go to City. So for Erling, who's doing exactly what you want to do, and that's score goals, relatively good. But again, who are you scoring these goals against? And what times are you showing up? What point in the game are you scoring these goals? And yes, he scores a lot of, the first goal of the game or whatever it is, but also how much of it is just beating up on mid. When you're playing Fulham, obviously he's going to put in 3 goals or something.
Yeah, 100%. And because we're Canadian, I'll just link it to same thing as McDavid. Guy's incredible. Amazing. How many people actually want to go play in Edmonton?
Football podcast.
I know, but I'm just trying to say.
Football.
Man City is developing a team because there's great players there already. Everyone wants to play with the best. They want to make some cash at the same time.
They have a better climate than Edmonton. There's an Edmonton there's an Edmonton in London as well.
Is there really?
Yeah, it's like a part of North London, Edmonton.
Oh, jeez.
I know, crazy. Right by where Tottenham used to play. I don't know if they're still, because it was like White Hart Lane, and then there was Edmonton. Anyway, that's off topic. You know what? Actually, you bring up tangentially the North American point. Erling Haaland is a good example of this, and so is Kevin De Bruyne, and Luka Modric, and Leo Messi. Let me explain where I'm going with this. You know that argument that all the Americans have that they would win all the World Cups if their best athletes played football or soccer, as it's known?
Yeah.
Modric, Messi, Haaland are the prime examples for why that is so not true. Because Haaland is just a freak of an athlete. Yes, so is Cristiano Ronaldo, but he wasn't always like that. He worked his way to being a freak of an athlete. He's a hard worker.
Yeah.
And yeah, he was born with some traits that obviously help with that. But he's also just amazingly gifted and talented at football. Messi, Modric, Pirlo. Who else did I list on that there?
Oh, Claude Makelele.
Makelele, yeah. How many of these guys are not great athletes, but you can't teach this? And there's a certain amount of what's in your feet you can't touch. You can't touch. That touch, sometimes that natural ability to have the ball at your feet and to make the smart play every single time. Erling Haaland is just a super freak athlete, which is where the Americans would fall down if all of their best athletes played football. I don't think it's true. There's certain things you just can't teach.
Yeah, and the Americans are the best at basketball, but they sometimes lose to some weird nations in the Olympics. But
Angola.
Angola. I hear what you're saying. There's an aspect. We talked about leadership. We talked about being cool under pressure a little bit.
Did we talk about quiet leadership, though?
We haven't mentioned it this episode, but it's another great example. You can literally have the most athletic person ever, but sports isn't always about that. It's about in the World Cup final, who do you want taking your penalties? You don't want the guy who can kick the hardest because maybe he skies it. It's it's a lot about this too.
It's a lot of what's in your head. And if the Americans went with that theory, they'd have a team full of Erling Haalands, and they wouldn't get very far.
No.
Because they'd all disappear. It's great to be an athlete. And that's a super freak athlete. That's going to help you a lot. But I think football is such a different game. And when I say football, I mean football, not football.
Football, yeah.
Yeah. It's such a different game where that whole athlete argument doesn't really hold up.
Yeah.
How many stories? Messi didn't start working out until he hit Inter Miami. Literally, he was never in the gym until he went to Inter Miami.
Yeah. But yeah, exactly like you're saying. Just that's God's given ability, and shouldn't have said God because now we're getting raked over the coals. Yeah, but that's just natural talent.
And what's in your head? What's in between the ears? Somebody with a good head, as Brian Clough would say.
Yeah.
Did Ancelotti and Clough, I think, have to make an appearance once a show, once an episode?
Yeah, well, Ancelotti for sure. Clough, I'll be okay with that.
Good old Nottingham Forest.
Good old Nottingham, and again, they won Champions Leagues.
Back to
whatever,
back.
Yeah, Europa, whatever it was at the time.
I think it was just the European Championship. I think it was called back then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where do you start? Where do you kind of do the cutoff, draw the line? Especially now, it's a lot older. We're a lot older than we think. You know, the 90s was 30 years ago. Where are you starting to cut off the line for? Not so much modern players, but where those eras kind of changed. Like maybe this person couldn't play in this era, and this person couldn't play in a previous era. Where's that line for you? Is it 2000? Is it 98?
No, 2010.
2010?
Yeah.
2010 is a different era?
I think so, yeah.
What's changed?
Speed, diets. I think obviously Wenger joined Arsenal a very long time ago and started to introduce it, but I think I draw the line at 2010 because a lot of teams or every team started doing it. Before then, it was a couple of teams.
I don't know. I think there it was okay. You're right. Maybe the extent of those the diets and the not naturopath, but the holistic view of it. There was only a few teams doing it in the 2000s.
Yeah,
is that kind of okay? Because I remember reading stories about
that's the line I thought I'm on.
Yeah. Okay. Wow, that is a lot. I was thinking 99. Is it still Roberto Carlos and Rivaldo playing and that to me is a different era now.
Yeah.
But 2010. Although I'm trying to think of people who played in 2010 that are still playing now. Is Della Lefeu around? Is he still playing? I think he is.
I think he's still around.
Who was Xabi Alonso's coaching now? He just got kicked in the chest. That's all I remember for 2010.
Yeah.
Robin Van Persie's
by
kid
De Jong, yeah.
Yeah. De Jong. Van Persie is what? He's out. Yeah. It's just Ronaldo. It's Ronaldo and Messi from 2010. Suarez was playing.
Yep.
He hasn't transcended eras.
Yeah.
You want to talk about somebody who's overrated, and I'm totally out to lunch on that. I just fucking hate Luis Suarez. Ugh.
Yeah. I agree with you on that.
Go bite somebody, a donkey.
Yeah. That guy, just like Materazzi, should have been kicked out long ago.
You know the best part about that is Nesta got hurt, pulled his groin, re-aggravated it against when they played the Czech or something like that in the group stage, and Materazzi comes in because he was the third on the depth chart for center back, and he's pretty much one of the major reasons Italy beat France and won the World Cup.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everything happens for a reason.
He gives away the penalty to Zizou, but then he scores off the corner from Pirlo.
Yep.
Then he gets Zizou kicked off, and then he scores in the penalty shootout.
Yeah. And I hate to talk about it too, but Trezeguet shot the exact same way he did in 2000 when we beat your ass in the Euros, and he
Full of
hit the
shit.
bar instead of the clinical finish that he did before. One other thing I want to mention, that Zizou penalty against Buffon was a masterclass of a penalty. You cannot save that. No one can save that.
No, you can't save that.
It
That
bar
was
down, in, out.
the audacity to chip in a World Cup final. It was
he did
minute
it.
7. There was still the whole game to play.
Oh yeah, and that guy was that. We're talking about Haaland too. Talking about how he can't control games. You watch Zizou in 06, that was an absolute masterclass.
And at 30, what was he, 32, 33?
Yeah, old as hell. Like
I was gonna
our
say,
age.
you watch Zizou at any point, or 98, 2000.
Oh, don't mention 98.
Getting a little hot over there.
A little bit, yeah.
Well, you said it. You brought it up. We got spoiled. We really did get spoiled. I mean, now it's, the era of Ronaldo and Messi it's not entirely gone because they're still playing, but one's in Saudi Arabia, one's in the freaking MLS, basically retired in Miami and Florida, right? Like,
Yeah.
And just both are trash leagues right now, and not going to change anytime soon. Saudis might change more than the MLS. But so now what is it? It's Mbappe and it's Erling Haaland. And those are the superstars now. And I know you love Mbappe, but he is not on the level of Ronaldo or Messi or maybe he's on Kaká's level, because it was kind of Kaká before, he was the last guy to win the Golden Boot. Why do I always fuck that up? The Ballon d'Or before it was Ronaldo and Messi for a decade.
Yeah.
But Mbappe's not there, and he's not that young either. Was he 23? Oh, I guess Haaland is 23. So
they're both getting up there, but yeah, I think it's interesting to talk about it too. Like we were talking about, we've been spoiled with some incredible players, and I think the conversation me and you are having right now, we're searching and we're trying to find that next big player, and none of them.
No,
are
we might be in
living.
that lull period where there isn't one.
Yeah, there isn't one. And again, like, I think Haaland is clinical and he's a great player, but I don't think right now he's going to go down as one of the best players ever.
No, and that's what you said, great player. I don't think I would call him a great player. I think he's an excellent goal scorer.
Yeah.
But there's not much else there. Again, I know goals win you games, but whatever. It just, I wouldn't call him a great player.
Yep. Well, yeah. Again, like, we're talking about stats. Yes, he statistically he does it, but we shared our top 5 penalty takers. I'm still not calling up Haaland.
I'm not.
If we were to do top 10, I still wouldn't call him up. Because
sorry, top 10 what though? Top 10 strikers?
Top 10 penalty takers.
Oh no, he's nowhere near on the penalties. I wouldn't. Yeah, he's after my top 5 for sure. But I don't think that's ever been his strength for him. I'm talking more just gameplay.
Yeah. Oh, and yeah, like we're talking gameplay. If he has Kevin De Bruyne, the most overrated player ever, tossing in balls like he does, yeah, he's a great player. But I mean, the second you take out somebody who can feed Haaland like that, what is he?
You're right. What is he gonna do? He's not gonna take the ball from half and run through.
Yeah, he's not gonna take the ball from half. Yeah.
He's not gonna play diamonds and triangles and tiki taka his way through. He's literally just a big body to have in the box.
Oh, and again,
you don't even have to be that accurate when you're De Bruyne. Just get it within 6 feet of the massive Viking, and he'll get a leg on it.
Yeah, if we were to share lists of guys I want in the box to head it in, he might even still be number 3.
Yeah, he doesn't even head it though. He doesn't
even head it.
leg, chest, shoulder, whatever's there. He just does not want to mess up his hair or something. And I don't want to take him away from De Bruyne. I hate him because he plays for fucking City and he's Belgian and he does not look. Oh, De Bruyne was the other guy I said who doesn't look like an athlete. He doesn't look like an athlete at all, man.
Not at all.
He's very accurate. He's a very great he's an amazing distributor. He's up there probably with some of the best, and the vision. So, but with Haaland, he doesn't have to be that accurate. It's okay, and you're right. And you take away Haaland's distribution, and what is he? And he's a great goal scorer, but I still don't. We said he's not a great player. He's a great goal scorer, but he's not a great finisher. And it's a strange concept to comprehend for somebody, like if you're not a big fan of football. But his finishing is still lacking, I think, as well. And you saw it. Was it this weekend? Or was it against Copenhagen? What was it? The absolute sitter. He's from 3 yards out. And he skies it, misses it. But that's a tap in. Even one-on-one with the keeper, there's other Pipo Inzaghi. I'd rather have Pipo Inzaghi one-on-one with the keeper than I would Erling Haaland.
Yeah.
And Pipo Inzaghi was not a great footballer either. He's not a great athlete, but he was probably the best finisher of all time. Or maybe not the best finisher, but maybe the purest finisher.
Yeah. I hear you on that. I want to go back to something we were just talking about. We might have to relabel our podcast as We Hate the Belgians. Just for the record. But
everybody does.
We're talking about Kevin De Bruyne.
Oh, okay, here we go.
This guy played for Chelsea. Was not great. At some point he goes to Wolfsburg and finds himself, then gets transferred to City. What the fuck?
You want my thoughts on that?
100%.
Chelsea was a black hole for players. Chelsea is a black hole for, maybe not now anymore as of recently, but it was a black hole after the Lampard, Michael Ballack, Essen, Didier Drogba era, John Terry, that whole era. It became a black hole for players. They always had the most players out on loan. I think they had the record for it.
Oh, and still do. Yeah.
If you were, there was no guarantee you were ever gonna get game time or play time. If you were a young and up and comer with Chelsea, Roman Abramovich was because he's not there anymore. Roman Abramovich was so indecisive and just for anything, the quickest to fire and replace managers. That's what happened with Chelsea. Too many players, no vision for the future of what they were actually going to do. Too much turnover on the manager side, so you couldn't let anybody get settled and say, like, I like this guy, I like this guy, I like this guy. When Mourinho went back there the second time, they were playing. What striker did they have that he refused to play? He put Andre Schürrle up there, who's a fucking midfielder. He'd rather play a midfielder at striker than, I can't remember whoever it was. But yeah, how many people? Kai Havertz is out of there.
Yeah.
De Bruyne is the big one. They let him go, and he ends up becoming big at City. Obviously, there's not
Salah.
Mo Salah, right?
Yeah.
Again, he needed some time. Everybody they go back to the English tax thing where they say Mo Salah is better than Wayne Rooney, and the big point there is Wayne Rooney never had to get loaned out to a mid-tier Serie A club for 2 years, right? So I think Mo Salah needed some seasoning. But again, that's the point I'm making. Chelsea is a black hole for players. There's no time. It's either no time for seasoning or you're over-seasoned, you're over-ripened. And you just need a fresh start somewhere. And there was no consistency with the managers.
Yeah, I hate that you mentioned it because literally the second you started your what feels like a 32-minute rant,
sorry.
You're not wrong. It was like 2 minutes, but I'm just being an ass.
You sounded like you wound down there. And,
I got put in my place. I'll just stay over here.
I get that you hate. Is it the reason you hate De Bruyne is because he was with Chelsea and now he's
I hate
tearing it up?
I hate De Bruyne because that guy just literally was like this the whole time.
He's so annoying.
Yeah,
let me talk. Let me talk.
Yeah. Literally, still at City, says, "Let me talk." Shut the fuck up, man. And that's also coming from literally an alpha male. Look at me.
With that sash.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I'm an athlete through and through, so I can comment on it.
It's gorgeous.
It's gorgeous. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, guy is extremely talented. He pisses me off just because mental fortitude. You had a golden generation of Belgian players. What'd you do with it? Nothing.
Zip. It's like England 2.0. Mini England.
100%. 100%.
Yeah. Well, now he's got his play thing with Haaland just fired in there.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah.
I guess what's coming up in the Premier League? Who you? We got Arsenal. Oh my God! Oh, it got. Why did they get postponed? Arsenal, Chelsea. That's the
Probably,
big
like-
one this weekend.
Yeah.
You got the Derby side, or the Merseyside Derby.
Yeah.
Everton, Liverpool. Watch Sean Dyche just throw a big wrench into Klopp's plans here. That'd be hilarious. Man City, Brighton. Okay, I think we know who's coming out on top. See, that's the thing is I always feel like Man City's fucking schedule gets so easy at the end,
Yeah.
and they just tear it up. And 10 games left, they'll go easy 30 points for them. They'll run away with it.
Oh yeah.
Son of a bitch.
10 games left. City somehow goes 12-0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you still sticking with Arsenal for your pick to win? While you wear a Chelsea jersey.
Oh yeah. Again, classic Chelsea fan. Just we're out. We've been out since match day 1, and
Rebuild year. I like it a little bit. It seems to be a little bit more, I don't want to say stable, although stable is not a bad word for it at Chelsea, but consistency. There seems to be a plan. I think there's some good players there in Conor Gallagher and, oh God, who's the other one there? The fuck's his name? Come on, it's your team.
there's like 700 players who play for Chelsea right
See?
now. Like
That's what I'm
like
saying.
you shared.
That's what I'm saying.
90% of them are on loan.
Reece James. Reece James. But he's been injured forever, hasn't he?
Oh yeah, the last 2 seasons, that guy hasn't played more than a full game.
All right, so with your Chelsea kit, you're going with Arsenal. I still think it's City, but this weekend, really, this past weekend, threw it all up in the air. I love that they're in there. I mean, maybe Arteta, maybe he can pull it through. I'd love to see it happen. But again, what happened? What did I say? Arsenal need a fucking keeper. What does Ramsdale do? Just absolutely goofs it.
Goofs it. And that's like a classic Berta saying, "Oh, just goof it."
That is a Berta saying. Goofs it. I think the one I'm gonna watch is Arsenal Chelsea. I'd probably watch that one. I got a feeling Arsenal's gonna.
I'm watching Sheffield United.
You're watching Sheffield United. Literally watch the worst team in the Premiership since Derby County in 05 or whatever it was. Just absolutely take it to 90 million for it. You know what? Sounds
Oh, you wanna get some things off your chest here?
I need my brown.
Yeah, exactly.
Champions League, any surprises there for you?
Nah.
I think we called it. Barcelona runs away with it.
Yep.
Runs away with it is a strong word.
Hey,
but they kind of did.
It was very interesting too. Lazio is an Italian team, if you didn't know, because you're wearing an Italian jersey. Yeah,
Yes,
they are. But Sarri quit after that game, or got fired. One of the two.
Yeah, he made some quote about it. It was an interesting quote after, but I can't remember off the top of my head what it was.
Well, yeah, they're ninth place.
Lazio is not doing so hot, but I mean they got absolutely I mean, you're going into Munich though, right? Like we were saying that before. Munich's running. Bayern's going to run away with it. They're going back. Like we weren't worried about Bayern beating Lazio in Munich.
Yeah. And again, they play in Munich. They beat them 3-1.
3-0.
Oh.
3-0, and then PSG beats Sociedad 2-1. You know what? Away from home as well. Sociedad's been really strong there, like defensively, so that's good. The Leipzig Madrid one. I mean, you know what? Carlo's doing what he's got to do to get through.
Quiet
City
leadership.
Copenhagen, quiet leadership. City Copenhagen, we called that. Arsenal Porto, we pretty much called it. I think there was still some of that, like, Arsenal could do Arsenal things or English things where we were a little hesitant. Maybe we thought Porto was going to pull it out.
Yeah.
And they almost did. Like,
they
crazy.
almost did.
Yeah. Some of those penalties were just awful. Yeah, Barcelona, Napoli. Barcelona takes it. Dortmund, I think you called it. Man, you should have put to qualify. Built out a little betway. You picked all of them. Because you picked Atletico. I think I picked Inter.
Yeah, I picked Atletico. Also, though, like Lautaro Martinez tossing it so far over the bar on penalty shootout.
He's not making our club for penalties. He's not making.
Oh, he almost made mine. It was him and Gorku. That was really close.
You know who we should have added on that was Dybala, because he comes in cold in the World Cup and just literally like subbed on in the last 5 just to take that penalty, and 0 playtime the rest of the tournament. That's an old conversation. I guess we'll wait for the draws for Champions League and see.
But yeah, it was pretty standard. It's gonna heat up here, which I love. I still think City's getting knocked out.
Who is it? I have to look at the brackets. I don't know who they'd be playing next, but who do you think would knock out City?
Real Madrid.
Yeah. Actually.
Again, I'm a huge Ancelotti fan. He's going to find a way. Even if Ancelotti has to goaltend, he'll do it and he'll win the game.
He'll find a way. I think if Van Dijk can keep Erling Haaland quiet by himself, Antonio Rudiger and the rest of the gang could definitely do it as well.
Oh, and Antonio Rudiger, too. That guy could also toss in a goal from half.
Mm-hmm.
That guy's crazy.
I'm pulling for Madrid for Champions League. I'm rooting for Arsenal in the Prem. I know it's going to be City. And I'm rooting for Madrid in Champs.
No.
And I know it's going to be City. No.
Yeah.
I don't think that.
I really hope it's not, because again, we had the conversation 2 weeks ago about Pep. I hate to see teams that just buy players and they're successful. I give
players
huge
and
credit.
Managers.
I give huge credit to what Man U did. Fergie spent zero cash and built a dynasty. I hate to see City win and be, Pep's a great manager. Pep's a great manager. Fuck that. That guy just buys people. Give me a blank check. I would be the best manager around.
I mean, he recently just came out and said the Leeds manager, where he said, give him my team and he wins the championship. Give me his team and I don't even get promoted.
Yeah, 100%.
It's not enough to just admit that, though. Now, is Pep a great manager? I don't know. I mean, he tried to go 3 in the back against that Suarez, Messi, Neymar Barcelona team, and they got absolutely gutted, just trounced. So maybe he is, maybe he isn't, maybe just it's his teams, but he's not like Ancelotti at all, where you've got this great team and you just let him go. He does seem very involved.
And we talked about it the other week too. Like, Ancelotti went to Everton and made them somewhat
okay. He needed more time, but he just fucked off to Madrid.
Well, again.
Wouldn't you though?
Florentino. Yeah. Florentino Perez calls me. I'm answering the call, being like,
"Oh, it's the other way around." Remember, he called him.
Yeah. You know what I mean, though.
Yeah.
I would start tomorrow over living in Liverpool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That thing with, it's comparatively today, spent no money, but they did still have to spend some money, and Fergie did make moves that didn't pan out. I think at the beginning, one of the things that he did spend money on, different from now, is it's the scouting. the scouting department, because I know when he took over United, City actually had a bigger scouting department team presence. They had a bigger scouting department presence than United did, and he got that turned around in a year, and they ended up getting him. So that's why they were able to build the class of '92.
Yeah.
The greatest last full class youth graduating class in footballing history.
When we were talking a little bit before about it too, it's incredible too, because you mentioned City. Everything that they spent money on has hit. But exact same
Recently,
conversation. Exact same conversation we're having now. United hit on every single pickup, or 95% of the pickups they were trying to make.
Yeah, most of them did.
It's going to change at some point.
Oh, I fucking hope so. I mean, with the new ownership at United, I really hope so. Under Ratcliffe's group, and it's a local group that's owning them, and I hope they can kind of recapture some of that magic. I think the Anthony one is a good example. I think Ten Hag kind of got it in his head because he had coached him or managed him at Ajax, and he just got it in his head to just pay whatever for him.
Yeah.
Because the rumor has it is that there was other people in the scouting staff saying Anthony's only worth £60 million, not 90 million or whatever it was they paid. But Ten Hag was like, just pay it. And he wasn't listening to them. So I really do hope that Ratcliffe and them can turn it around. You're right.
Well, in that exact conversation too, you heard Cristiano Ronaldo say Quaresma was better and more talented than he was.
Ricardo Quaresma.
Yeah, where was he?
It's the work. It's the hard work thing. There's so many stories of the players that were more talented than the superstars of today, but the work ethic wasn't there and the mentality wasn't there. Ravel Morrison is a great example. Everybody said he was better than Ronaldo. Work ethic's not there. Flop. There was a guy that didn't even make it out of the class in '92, Odonka or something like that. I can't remember, some British guy, and he even admits it. The work ethic wasn't there. And Beckham's like he was way better than me. Who was the other guy? There's been a lot. Oh, Ben Arfa. I can't remember Ben Arfa. They said he was better than Messi. He just wouldn't work at it.
Yeah.
Tara Bat. Remember Tara Bat from Q?
Don't try to challenge me on French players. I know Ben Arfa.
Yeah, everybody knows Ben Arfa. Better than Messi. Couldn't get it together because he just didn't work hard. Friggin' Tara Bat at QPR.
Yeah.
Phenomenal talent. Shitty work ethic.
When it's crazy too, because you think of players like Ronaldinho. Was he at training every day putting in his best? Probably not.
And there's that side of it, right? Because you hear the stories of Messi in Barcelona where he never worked out. He was like almost a lazy trainer, right? And he was lazy in training. And then you had guys like Ronaldo but again, when Ronaldo first moved to United, they didn't think he was. I think it was just Fergie who had a sense of what he could be, and I think it was a year or two before the rest of the guys were like, yeah, okay, this kid could be something. But they always talk about how they didn't think he was going to turn into what he did.
Yeah.
I mean, interesting enough, it was the players that went to Fergie and said, you need to sign him. It was after that exhibition match against Sporting.
Yeah.
Where they said, you need to sign this kid because he just absolutely embarrassed. Who's that one defender? I can't remember. But anyway. Good show. So you got Arsenal. I got City. Watch Liverpool come through and we're both wrong.
Yep. Watch it.
Champions League, we'll both take Madrid.
Yep. Pretty much.
Nice. Haaland, overrated, in case you didn't know.
Yeah. I truly believe that. He's not going to be the player that we talk about in 10 years where we're like, wow, what a career.
He's going to be the one like, oh yeah, remember that guy that scored all those goals?
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah.
Like Harry Kane.
Or Alexander Pato.
Yeah, Pato scored less goals, but you sure?
Yeah. But
a little bit more skilled, I think. But
yeah.
I think actually Harry Kane's not a bad comparable. He's got less trophies than Haaland, but you look at Harry Kane, he does what he's supposed to do as a striker, as a number 9. Yeah. He just scores goals. But other than that, there's nothing phenomenal there.
There's nothing phenomenal. Yep.
Wow. Epiphany.
Yeah, geez. Right at the end, too.
Good way to end it.
Yeah, good way to end it.
This was Left Foot Finish. See you next time. See you, buddies.